We also gather information about, the sort of broad effect of technology companies and data collection companies on the society. And it was very striking, starting just around 2016, so when the culture was in the midst of that election and all the material related to that. We asked a long-standing trend question: what kind of an impact do you think technology companies have on the way things are going in the country? And for the first time, there was a collapse in those data. Usually people felt pretty good about technology companies, so going back to 2010 when we asked that question. But you'll see on the right side there that in the case of both Republicans and Democrats, there was a substantial drop-off in the positive views that people had in the impact of technology companies, and a rise in the negative views that people felt about the companies. They also, a very front and center issue, just before, just at the end of I guess now 10 days ago, President Trump announced that he was going to try to change some of the laws applying to technology companies and the way they perform. And that's done against a backdrop where a lot of Americans, particularly Republicans, think that social media companies, who are in many respects are the sort of face of technology to the broad public, they feel that the social media sites intentionally censor political viewpoints that they find objectionable. Majorities say that's the case across the board, but it's much more likely to be Republicans than Democrats who feel that. And part of the reason is that Republicans think that the technology companies support the views of liberals over conservatives. That blue line at the top of the chart there, 64% of Republicans think that the tech companies privilege liberals over conservatives. And that's just, it's a sign of how political polarization now affects so many things in the culture, but it also is part of the techlash that I was referring to in the title of this talk. People are just increasingly wary, and sometimes for political reasons, about the performance of data collection companies and things like that. The public is not convinced that technology companies can prevent misuse of their platforms in this election. This was a survey that was just done maybe 3 months ago. And you will see that between September 2018 and January 2020, there's been a drop-off in confidence that the technology companies can protect their platforms from misuse during the election. That's, again, sort of a way that politicization of the entire information ecosystem, and I would argue the data ecosystem, has not been a helpful thing for businesses like yours, at least in the broad context of cultural confidence in you.